Hey y'all, and welcome to Monter's Market, and welcome to Bridgerton, the Light Academia playlist. I am so excited about this. What is Bridgerton, you say? Bridgerton is a playlist that my friend Michelle over at Moxie, DIY, and Java has put together. Let me show you a little bit about what Bridgerton is before we get started in my DIYs.
The fastest courtship upon record occurred during the markedly wet season of 1804, when Miss Mary Leopold secured a betrothal over a plate of sugared almonds and licorice in just 4.5 minutes. Of course, Miss Leopold and her new husband would leave London mere hours after their wedding. Reason? Unknown. Of all that I have imparted to you, dear reader, there is but one bit of wisdom you must heed most. One can never know the truth of a marriage hiding behind closed doors. Beware indeed, blushing newlyweds. You know not the future that awaits. Will there be hardship?
Get away! Just leave me alone!
Or indignity?
Go away! Leave me alone!
Or will one's future see the rarest accomplishment of all? A true love match. As for which of these fates await the eager matches of the season of 1813, only two things will tell: time, and as always, this author.
So this is where we got our theme from. And I made 3 things that I thought you might see in one of these big, rich, fancy houses. Let's get into my first DIY. This is a jewelry box that I found at the Goodwill, and I bought it for $2. It was $3.99 on sale for half price. It was this old, ugly brown, but the jewelry that these people wore was just unreal. So you know they had to have a nice jewelry box to put it in. So I took this old jewelry box and I cleaned it up really good, and I went in with my ivory chalk paint by Waverly. I gave it a really good coat of chalk paint. I want to say I gave it 2 good coats actually. And I just continued to paint it until I got it covered really good, covered all of that dark brown up. And once I got all of the dark brown covered up, you'll see me in just a few minutes go in and sand it down and rough it up and give it sort of an old Victorian look. Now, this was not necessarily an easy task because there are so many doors and things like that, should I say, on this jewelry box. But this was the most fun, because the whole time I was painting this jewelry box, I could imagine the jewels that the Bridgertons or Lady Whistledown had stored in this jewelry box. So I really let my mind wander into this series. If you have never watched the series, I truly hope that this playlist gives you the desire to watch it. However, don't watch it around little kids because it is made for adults and it is adult themed. So just a little disclaimer there. Don't have the kiddos around whenever you decide to start watching it. I want to say season 2 is about to come out if it hasn't already come out. I've been so busy the past 2 weeks, I haven't even had a chance to see, but I know it's getting close. So I just took my hand sander and I just sanded it all around, sort of beat it up, made it look old and rustic, but white again. And when I finished getting it all scuffed up and everything, I took one of these really pretty transfers from Chalk Couture, and see the little flowers right there in the middle? I wanted to do something. I didn't want to leave it simply white. So I took a little piece of that transfer, and I'm going to go on the top right there, and I'm going to go in with Couture Coral and Peony for the color of the flowers, and then Pesto, of course, for the leaves. So you will just see me chalk that on there, take it off. Now, I didn't chalk it real heavy because, again, this was sanded down and I didn't want it to be a really good finish because once it dries, I'm going to sand on it anyway. And this is a couture coral, and this is the most beautiful color. It's sort of a peachy pink, and it is just beautiful. And then the next color is going to be the peony, and these are just the most beautiful colors together. So I'm just going to make sort of like an ombre look by rubbing it on there, and then when I squeegee it off, it'll sort of blend and mix them together. And then ta-da! See, so I didn't really put it heavy. I did not want it heavy because, like I said, once it's dry, I go back in, sand it down, and that is literally all there was to giving this a facelift. And I love the way this turned out. I love the way I took the hand sander. Get my tongue untied and I'll talk to you. I forgot to clean the mirror. I'm a little aggravated that I didn't clean the mirror before I recorded this, and I just literally don't have time because I just don't have time to go back and clean the mirror and refilm it, everything. So excuse the mirror, but it did get clean and it was beautiful once it was clean. But I cannot wait to hear what you think about this jewelry box down in the comments below. And can't you just see all of the jewels from those ladies in this jewelry box? I know I definitely could. Another thing too, yes, they had electricity back then, but in a lot of the scenes, you will see a lot of candles, and especially candles that they walked around holding. I found this at the Goodwill for $1.99. I only paid $1 for it, and I was so stinking excited. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was for the Bridgerton playlist because, oh my goodness, it was just perfect. So I'm cleaning it up. And this was the easiest thing in the world to do. I literally cleaned it up, took it outside, and spray painted it with this smoky beige spray paint. That's all I did to it, except you will see me in a few minutes take some twine and sort of wrap around it a few times and put a bow on it. A twine bow, obviously, so that it would match the sort of scuffed up rustic look of the jewelry box. And that's all I did to this, but it gave it a completely different look than it had when it was that bright old tacky gold. I tried putting some flowers down in it because I thought, I don't want to just put a candle in it. But when I put the flowers in it, that took completely away from my whole point, which was the candles that they walked around holding. I'm just showing you right there what it looked like after and before. I don't know why I didn't do before and after, but anyway, it gave a really beautiful finish to this, and you're going to see me kind of stick some flowers down in there that I got from Walmart that are just absolutely gorgeous. It's more greenery than anything, and I loved it. See how pretty that is together? This is me taking the twine and wrapping around it a few times, and then I'm going to make a bow, you'll see, like I said. But I end up taking the flowers out of it and putting a candle in there, but I couldn't get the daggum candle to stay lit. So I was just on the struggle bus this whole stinking video because I just was. But anyway, that's me making my little finger bow to add to it, and that's all there was to it. And this project was done, and I absolutely love it. And it looks so pretty up against the jewelry box. This is me just kind of adding that little bow on there just to give it a little something, just so it wasn't so plain. But let me know down in the comments below what you think about this dollar find. I was super duper excited. This is me just like, no, let me just throw a candle in there. That candle stayed lit for about 2 seconds, and then it would go out, and then I'd relight it and it'd go out. So I said, forget it. I'll just film it the way it is. But look how pretty that is. I absolutely love the way it turned out. For $1 especially, you can't beat $1. Now let's get into DIY number 3. You may recognize these books from the Dark Acedemia playlist that I did recently. while this is, really, really pretty, it's just not my style. And I didn't want to throw these out, so I figured I would recycle it. Well, I could not get that burlap off. That burlap is stuck for life. So I figured you would be able to see it a little bit, and it would be a cute little addition to what I was going to do. So I heated up the glue, and I took those, what are those things called? Those buttons off. And then I'm just going to give it a good coat of the ivory chalk paint. Same thing I've been using since the beginning of the video. I made sure I got all of that old glue off before I did that. And then I just went in with the ivory, and I want to say it took 2 coats again to cover up all of that black. Now you will see where I forgot to paint the bottom of the books, but I didn't worry about it while I was filming because I knew, for one, you wouldn't see it the way I had it staged. And then when I got through, I did go back and repaint it. But, I guess I only did 1 coat. Let's see how many I do. But see how I couldn't get that burlap off? I just raised up the edges and went around it, and it worked like a charm. And it just brightened them right on back up. And I was very surprised that they looked so good. I just didn't think anything would look good after that black, which the black was great. Yeah, I did give it 2 coats. The black was great for the dark academia. Oh, I can never say that. Acedemia look. And they were really pretty. I loved it, but I just don't have anything, like I said, that it matches. So I wanted to give it a fresh coat of the ivory paint and just brighten it up a little bit. Those, what you see there, are birds that I stamped onto that burlap, if you did not see that video. If you didn't see the video, you might want to go watch it. It was pretty cool. It was way out of my wheelhouse. So now I'm going to stack them together and use this gorgeous ribbon that I've been using in the last couple of videos that I've done. I think it is so pretty. There's the bottom that I forgot to paint at the beginning. And I just glued it down, flipped it over. I did add the buttons back because I thought it added a really cool touch to the books, and it gave it a little bit of character, I guess, if I don't know, character. Yeah, we'll just go with character. How about that? Buttons gave it character. So I did glue this back on, and I really, really liked them whenever I got them glued on to the white. You could really see them this time. They really stood out, and it gave it so much, in my opinion. Now, this is a pick that I got from the Dollar Tree, and that is the olive branch pick from the Dollar Tree. And I used that the other day in my video too. That thing is absolutely gorgeous. You would never in a million years know that it is a Dollar Tree pick. It is so pretty. So I'm just taking some of these flowers and I'm going to bunch them up together to make like a little bunch of flowers. So the main deal with Bridgerton is all of these women trying to find a husband. And of course, you got to have a bouquet when you get married. So I thought I would make a little tiny bouquet to put on the top of my books to represent all of the weddings that take place in Bridgerton. If you have not seen that and you don't mind an adult-themed show, it is definitely something to watch. I didn't think I would like it, but after my first 30 minutes into it, I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching this. So once I got my little bouquet done, I simply glued it to the top of my book, and that was it. That was all there was to making this. Oh, I lied. I did make a finger bow. I wanted it to match and all, bring everything together. So I made a finger bow like the one I put on the candlestick, and I added that to my bouquet so that it would bring it all together, and glued it down. And then I pulled off a sticker from when it was black, and I did use a part of that sticker that says love. And I thought that was just perfect for this because of the whole theme of Bridgerton and love and falling in love and finding someone to love and love, 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 love. Now, I didn't use that whole thing. I just used a little love piece, but that's all there was to it. Once I got it glued down, I thought it was just beautiful. And once I got it with my vignette, oh my goodness, it just all came together. Look how pretty those books are now. I cannot wait to hear what you think about those books. I will keep those for a long, long time. I love the colors. And look how pretty that burlap is. It didn't cover it all up. You can still see it, but it still looks perfect. And I love the buttons. I love what the buttons did. Gave it some character. Look how cute. Yeah, those books are probably, I don't know if they're my favorite. Yeah, I think they really are my favorite. And this is my final reveal. I'm just going to show you how everything turned out and what it all looks like together. Look how gorgeous. Can we talk about that old camera? My grandson found it at the Goodwill, paid a couple of dollars for it. We pulled it up. It's from 1931. Yes, 1931. So he has ordered some parts to go to it so that he can use it and take actual real pictures with it. But look at that jewelry box one more time. It's so super sturdy. It's really, really old from like back in the 80s, but it is so super sturdy. And I love it. So I cannot wait to hear what you think about all of this, the whole thing. Let me know, have you ever watched Bridgerton? If you have, are you excited about season 2 coming out? And who is your favorite character? Mine is definitely Mrs. Whistledown, which I happen to have guessed in about the 3rd show. It's a mystery if you don't know. So I just want to thank Michelle over at Moxie, Java, and DIY. Or Moxie DIY and Java. I'm sorry to Michelle. Anyway, thank you for hosting this playlist, and thank you for allowing me to be a part of it. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for watching. Be blessed. Bye now.